Okay, assessing the damage. What is smoke damage? Signs of smoke damage is what we're going to get into right now. So, how does smoke get in your home? Well, how does air get in your home in the first place? Air gets in your home through your vents, your attic, your windows, your doors. That's how the air is allowing you to breathe in your home anyways. So if there was smoke outside, there's smoke inside. Very simple. You don't have some magical filtration when the air is coming in your home. You may not smell it as much, but if the smoke smelled bad outside, it's inside too. So the other thing is it's the porous materials that absorb smoke. So if you have a surface like this can be cleaned. This would not need to be disposed of. You could wipe this down. It's a hard surface. It's sealed. You'll be all right. But if you have a carpet, if you have a fabric, this is leather, but if you have a fabric chair, clothing, your drywall, everything that can absorb water, this is a simple rule of thumb here. If it can absorb water, it can absorb air too. And everything in your home, like the furnitures, the carpets, the clothing, the insulation, acts as a sponge and traps all those particles inside. So unless you're actually detoxing it, and I'll note, a lot of stuff can't be detoxed. For example, you can clean the exterior of a couch, but what about all the foam inside? You can clean the top layer about your mattress, but the smoke contaminates things deeply. So a lot of things do have to be disposed of. Signs of smoke damage. So there's the physical signs. If there was ash and soot outside, it's inside too. Pretty simply. If it was on your driveway, on your roof, all around your house, it's inside too. How much is to be determined. So the physical signs are going to be ash and soot on your carpets, on your windowsills. So something that you're going to want to do is take your finger and rub it along some horizontal surfaces. Your door frames, windowsills. If you see a little bit of black ash accumulating on your windows and door sills, this means you have like a significant smoke damage claim. This puts you in the insurance claim category. If you're literally finding ash and soot in your home doesn't need a light detox. It needs a deep smoke restoration claim. So if there are visible signs of any ash or soot in your home, that is one way to know you have a insurance claim on your hands, and this is a deep clean. This means a lot of stuff is going to have to be thrown out, and that's putting you down that path. Then there's hidden signs, which could be, we can test for things, but also odors. A couple other things to check are if your furnace filter, when you got home and you looked at your furnace filter, if it was discolored and dirty, that gives you a great indication that your home was heavily contaminated by smoke. So if any of those things are true, visible ash, visible soot, or a really dirty furnace filter, this is a sign that you are close enough to the zone, your home was contaminated enough, and you have a heavy duty detox situation. And in further videos, I will get into the different types of levels of detoxing home. And then there's tools for assessing smoke damage as well. So of course there's the nose test. If it smells smoky, it is smoky. If it's smoky, it's not just smoke. There's all kinds of contaminants. And then there's two ways to test for air. We can use things like a particle counter to take a laser reading from the air, but we can also sample dust. So you can actually take a dust sample from the windowsill, from the door frame, from your furnace filter itself. You can actually shake out some of the dust and debris on your furnace filter, put it in a bag or on a piece of tape, and actually get your dust sampled so you can see what was in there. But if any of these things are true, you have a pretty serious smoke contamination situation on your hands that should be taken seriously. So the summary and key takeaway here: if toxic smoke got in your home and significant air purification was not actively running, your home is contaminated and needs to be detoxed. If you had a bunch of air purifiers in your home and your power stayed on, you're probably okay. You'll probably notice there's not much ash and there's not much smoke and there's not much debris around your home because you were filtering it. But if you didn't have air filtration actively, I'm not talking about one air purifier. I'm talking about 3, 4, 5 air purifiers running, like a whole home air filtration system with your power on, then you likely have a smoke detox situation. If there is not visible soot, visible ash, your furnace filter is not super dirty, maybe you were 7, 10, 15 miles from the nearest burn zone. Maybe the wind was blowing in a direction that was pretty fortunate. You smelled some smoke when you moved in, but there's zero visible signs at all. Then that's still a situation where you're going to want to do a deep clean, but you can potentially do a DIY deep clean. You might want some contractors involved to support your DIY clean, but you may not qualify for an insurance claim, and it may not justify an insurance claim. So I'll get into a few of those details below. This really should have said assessing the damage, so pretend that's what it says. I will create more videos below going into specific things. All right, I'll do a clap in between, right? I think that's what we do here.